everybody.
Yo, Student Scope. This is Quise.
B.
Chuck.
How y'all doing today, man? We got a special guest again. He already said his name, so we introduced Chuck today. If y'all seen our old episodes, he was very prevalent on those episodes. Either talking about basketball, football, voice of reason here. All right, when we start yelling, and you ain't gonna get no yelling out of him. All right, so you ain't gonna get no yelling out of him. But yeah, he gonna try to, he got a lot of insight on this. I thought he'd be good to be able to talk about these topics, these more in-depth topics here. So, again, this is our first episode of New Year's. If y'all like what we do, follow the socials, through the scope, 2 underscores on Instagram, through the scope on Twitter, through the scope on the YouTube channel. Appreciate all support. So, we got a topic today, interesting one. The dynamic between these two, it just rung a bell for me. I seen something on Twitter with Torrey Smith. Y'all remember the former Eagle receiver, right? Raven receiver too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about the Russell Wilson situation, and we're not gonna really harp on his situation, but this is a long list of other situations where you see a lot of people, where you see these millionaire athletes complain or express their situation, right? The unfair treatment, them being done wrong. The 9-to-5 worker, quote unquote, ain't trying to hear that.
To a certain degree, you're not.
It's like morals change based off of how much somebody is making.
I wouldn't say morals, but
it is because think if your morals is you don't want to be disrespected, and that millionaire is telling you he's being disrespected, and you like I ain't trying to hear that.
It depends on how he's being disrespected. If he's complaining he's being disrespected just because he feel like he's being disrespected as a player or as a man, there's two different things as far as the different level of disrespect for me.
Disrespect is disrespect though. Nobody, you know what I'm saying?
If you're being disrespected as a player because your performance ain't up to par as opposed to
different.
Right, but that's where some of the disrespect might come through at.
It's still a level to speak to you, right?
There is, there absolutely,
like
absolutely
your manager can correct you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he ain't gonna call you all.
There's absolutely is a level.
If we're talking athletes, I mean, that's a whole different realm. You're essentially an artist, so you're going to be critiqued.
Right.
So
that's my point.
That's going to critiquing is going to come with that profession, regardless.
Right.
But again, disrespect is disrespect on all forms. So, I guess it's not going to make sense to the average 9-to-5 person. Certain things.
Okay.
But if any logical thinker will still be able to have some kind of leniency, I guess, towards how these athletes should feel, because that's regardless if that's their job and they're getting paid millions.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody deserves disrespect.
What is disrespect is what I'm asking you.
Go ahead.
So if we use Russell Wilson's situation for example,
right? Go ahead.
He was being disrespected because he's not playing to the level of his contract. He's not playing to the level we've seen him play in the past.
So what he's claiming is disrespect. Is what I'm saying. What is he claiming?
He got benched.
That's not disrespect.
No, hold on. He got benched essentially because the organization is moving in a different direction.
Okay, that's not disrespect.
Why wouldn't you call that disrespect? Because he's actually was helping them win games this season.
And another component too, not to even to add on what you're saying, not to step on it, is they came up to him and said, if you don't renegotiate your contract, then we gonna bench you. Mm-hmm. Like that, you don't. That's against the NFLPA. Is plans on challenging that.
That's a legal situation right there.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a legal situation, and
that's unfair treatment.
Yeah.
They don't got to be a part of the disrespect part, but it's unfair treatment, and also for his stature in the league and who he is, that is kind of disrespect. You earn your way to not be treated like that or talked to like that. Coach berating you on the sidelines in front of everybody.
You got to take the berating. I'm sorry, you got to take the
even when the coach is coach is the one performing too.
Unless the coach is like putting hands in your face and doing stuff like a physical nature. If he's just berating you wordly and is not disrespectful, calling you out your name.
A starter coach with his resume. I mean, a quarterback with his resume get yelled at like that on the NFL
sidelines. You've never seen a quarterback take the contract he got and then have the performance he had for the last 2.5 years.
Plenty of dudes took contracts and underperformed though. Like, come on, like
underperformed, yeah. But remember, Russell was paid one of the highest contracts in period. They paid a lot of money to get Russell over there.
No, that's a fact.
So, again, I'm not going to act like a person should be disrespected. I'm never on that field. but I am on the field to where if you're not performing up to par,
Yeah, of course.
there are certain things that you got to answer for.
Well, take it off of Russ then, and just in general. I've seen people say, not only disrespect, but somebody not paying you your value because they feel like they can get one over on you. An athlete has a real. They can complain about that.
But not getting paid their value?
Yes, right? That's just a valid complaint. If I'm worth something and they trying to give me way less, I can go and complain about that.
The only way you can tell me you're worth that is if somebody else in the market is going to give you that.
True. But that's what I'm saying, though. If they feel like they've done enough for a city or a place. And
you can't tell me what your worth is unless the market deems that you're worth.
From an owner perspective, I'm saying fans are saying they'll reply back and say, you still getting paid millions. I don't care.
And that's where
that's the problem.
That's a little insensitive.
That's very insensitive.
That's what the relationship is. They don't want to hear you complain where I'm working 9 to 5, paycheck to paycheck.
Well, that's to play devil's advocate for the fans. I'm going to say
your job is to entertain me,
and you're getting paid a lot of money, regardless of how compared to your peers. You're getting paid. You're getting paid a lot of money for what you're doing. So in that aspect, I'm going to look at you and say, I'm over here making the minimum wage, putting ends meat on the table. You over here enough to feed me and your family, and you're still complaining that you feel like you should be worth more than that. Yeah, I'm going to have a look at you a little sideways. And say, what are you complaining about?
Everybody if the same way you gonna complain, you gonna argue, your value at a job. Nobody like taking the short. That's why you negotiate, right?
True.
You shouldn't. We all human at the end of the day. No matter how much somebody is making. The part of being paid your value should be understand.
Like, are you ever paid? Unless you feel like you're overpaid? Are you ever paid your value? Or has anybody ever actually paid their value?
It depends. Some people are. Then they fight for it. It's people that negotiated it or fight for it or had to work their way up in the ranks.
Well, the point
it don't come as easy as maybe an athlete, but
the point in this athlete, the realm of this is he signed a contract.
Mm-hmm.
The market dictates the value and. They agreed on a contract.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of what the 9 to 5 worker thinks about that, obviously there's different levels to this. Now, he signed a contract. He should be mad about his treatment. He should be mad that they're coming back to him saying, "We want you to take a pay cut now." He should be. He has every right to be mad about all of that.
But he don't have to take that pay cut neither.
No, you don't have to take the pay cut. I'm not saying that. But he shouldn't be benched either, especially when they were progressing. And we talking Russell. We talking this season. He ain't the same himself, but he ain't the same player he was before. But they were progressing, and they had a chance to make the playoffs.
And obviously, they decided to bench him and go a different route than continue with him getting paid the money that he's getting paid and make the playoffs. Now, here's the thing: I understand he's complaining about the lack of disrespect, but you're still getting paid on the bench.
I guess
he's still getting that money while he's on the bench.
The money part is really not the complaint. The treatment is the complaint. The treatment is the man wants to play football. You getting benched. Who cares if I'm making money? We ain't talking about the money. Yeah, I know I'm making the money. I agreed to it. We signed a contract.
Okay.
The point is, why are you treating me like this when we're progressing? Yeah, I may not be producing what I used to produce, but I'm here. I'm all in, and I'm performing at a reasonable level. I'm not playing great football, but I'm playing reasonable football.
He ain't been performing even at a reasonable level.
This season, he was playing reasonable football.
This season, he looked like a little bit better. This season, he looked a little bit better.
This season, they were progressing forward. Like they could have made the playoffs. They could have made a playoff run. Well, not a playoff run, but they at least made the playoffs.
So we take it off of Russ, right? Because I think it's a broader issue. I think it's a broader issue. Because it's a part of this that I ain't even tackled yet. Where do y'all feel like if y'all can't, by how much they make, the relatability is tied to the way you relate to that, not relate, but the way you sympathize or empathy to that person. If you feel like you can't relate to them because of what they making or what they do for a living, do you now change how you view their situation?
No.
Do you not? Do your human instincts of compassion change? Because that's what happens.
That's the part.
That's the issue that you see, or people change that.
Yeah.
It's like a jealousy in a way.
People have to separate the status of them in the social realm and economic realm and still look at the human aspect of it. I mean, regardless, they make a certain amount of money.
But here's my issue with that. What are you complaining about? Are you not complaining about you're not able to live a lifestyle you want to live, or you complaining about you just feel like you're not getting what you think you're worth?
Well, then if we going to complain about the millionaires, complaining, or the athletes, let's do athletes, complaining about their situation and all that stuff, you darn near sympathizing with the owners who are even richer, that's treating them like that. Like so if you telling them to shut up and dribble or shut up and play football,
I would never nah.
Then you supporting the owner's standpoint of it.
No,
so
but I do believe there is a standard to what you're asking for. I believe there's a line to what you're asking for. I mean, if you got, say for instance, here's my issue with this. Say for instance, you have an athlete comes in, does what he does for whatever how many years, does his job to a certain level. He like, all right, I want to up my pay. Owner ups his pay. Now the owner ups your pay, thinking, all right, if I up your pay, that means your trajectory now is going upward. I don't want to plateau. You're right. You earned the idea of me thinking of me paying you what I think you're going to be worth 5 years from now.
Depends on sport. Some sports pay you for what you've done, not for what you projected to do.
Either way, your trajectory is going upward. You're not plateauing on me. You're going upward. Now, I give you this money. Now, the next 5 years, there is no upward trajectory. You have plateaued or you have fallen off.
You pay me for what I did. I earned that. I don't care what I earned that.
So then now I paid you for what you did. That 5 years is up. You come back to me and tell me you still want that same money or more. And I'm telling you, you have not produced what you produced 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, you're worth less than that now.
That's fine.
But you got the athlete that's coming back to saying, no, I'm worth what you paid me or more. I don't want to go back less.
Right. Well, that's fine if you talking about between the dynamic of a owner and the player. But the fan ain't got nothing to do with that. Huh? The fan ain't got nothing to do with that.
Well, the fan's looking at it from the aspect of you getting paid. You already getting paid millions. Regardless of the situation, you already getting paid millions. So whether you go up a $5 million or down to $5 million, you still in the $1 million bracket. That's what the fan average 9 to 5 is looking at that.
Well, look at where it navigates to, yo. Because the same way we can't, or some people feel like they can't relate to that athlete, and they don't care if whatever you're going through because you make so much. It all shows up with how they treat them at the games. You ever go to Boston? Mm-hmm. You ever go to Utah? And some of these other places, how fans talk to these players. Yeah. Some of them hit, push. It's because of that view. I don't care. You make enough. I can do whatever to you. They can do whatever to you. You are a millionaire. This what comes with the territory.
And that's the mentality that has to go.
Yeah, like think about the app. Like it's all connected to how they get treated online, with people saying the most foulest things, and then in person when they see them at the games.
Well, everybody's going to hide behind a computer.
Right.
This tech age.
You're going about the games. We've seen them NBA.
You're talking about a fanatic fan versus the average fan.
What's a fanatic fan?
That's a fanatic fan. What you just described is a fanatic fan.
That's a fan base.
It's more common now.
It's more common. It's a fan base. You gotta be a fanatic
fan then?
Yeah.
You saying everybody's a fanatic fan? Because it's more common.
People go there to do stuff like that, troll, those stuff like that's for fun.
That's a fanatic fan to me.
That's a fanatic thing. I think they want to get a rise out of you.
I put it like,
that's what I mean. That's a fanatic fan. Somebody who's trying to get something out of you because they know they can get away with it.
Well, fanatic.
To me. That's not even a fan. That's just somebody there to get a rise out of you. That's not somebody that supports you.
You might want to say a different word because fanatic. I'm thinking you saying somebody that's overly obsessed with the team. That's fanatic. Like you tell them like they overly obsessed. They like a super fan.
But they might be.
So that's why I'm stuck on the word fanatic.
Extremists. There we go.
How about
extremists?
This?
Yeah, okay.
How about we're at a time right now in life where people are just more disrespectful.
That's true.
Well, that's a fact.
People are just more disrespectful, and they don't care about the consequences. So
because the consequences are not that harsh anymore,
and it should be. It should be. I mean, if everything, they can't have the freedom to just say and do whatever they want just because they feel these guys are our entertainers and they make millions of dollars. That doesn't warrant that disrespect. Because if you ain't gonna say or do these things, if you saw this person in the street, like you shouldn't do it just because you feel like you're protected behind some chairs or in that space of an arena.
If I'm a person that's there and I'm heckling you as opposed to disrespecting you, I think those are two different things.
Yeah, heckling is going to always be in
but some players don't like the heckling. They think the heckling is too much.
Well, it depends on what's being said too.
But that's where the line between heckling and disrespect
comes in. It's a line of heckling and disrespect.
There's a line of but there are players who are just complaining about the heckling of where they go to different cities and different towns and things of that nature. Now, for I'm concerned, the heckling comes with being an athlete, being an entertainer, being in the public view. If you're asking, all right, here's the thing. If you're asking to put yourself into a public environment, a public situation, whether it be entertainment, athletes, or whatever the case may be,
Right.
you're asking for that.
Somebody disrespect you, or do your morals change, the value change based on what somebody paying you? Somebody pay you $20 million a year. I'm gonna let you talk to me a little crazy sometimes because you paying me $20 million a year.
What is the crazy talk? That's what I'm see. That's the thing. I would give you, and I give you an example.
Your personal moral. So, what is something you wouldn't accept now that you might be a little lenient on if I pay you $20 million and I'm saying it to you?
All right. Well, I'm gonna give you. All right, hold on. I'll give you a different.
Because here go a quote. I'm just saying quote somebody said.
Give me the quote first.
If that's disrespect, I'll happily take it for the money Russ is getting from them. That's what I've seen a lot.
Because what people are saying is, what are you calling disrespect? That's what I'm saying. And I'm gonna give you the prime example. All right.
Well, no, a lot of people were saying they don't care if they get disrespected if you paying them 20. That's what they were saying in the comments. Everybody was saying like, look, if you gonna pay me that much, I don't care.
Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Well, look, they're talking about Russ' situation. I mean, granted, the level of disrespect he's receiving is not as harsh.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's not that bad.
But people in the comments were saying in general.
Yeah.
If you paying them what you're paying Russ, I'm cool with getting disrespected.
But the statement says, but what the statement says, and that's why I'm harping what the statement says. If that's what you're calling disrespect, I'll gladly take that. So if
when I broaden it, because they were talking about everything, in general.
But if you broaden it, I'll give you two examples. I'll go to an example that everybody talks about Tim Duncan when he was playing for the Spurs with Pop. Right. Every player that played with Tim Duncan said the only reason why they took Pop's, because I remember Steven Jackson said, he saw instances where he saw how Pop disrespected Tim Duncan and Parker. He was like, yo, I'm not taking that. He said, I'm not dealing with that. But then he said he sat back and he looked at Tim. And he said, if the best player on the team can take that and continue to play, and he's still improving and getting better at that, he said, who am I to act like I can't take that?
But that's why his morals are his morals. Not everybody gonna take that.
And say what?
That's why his values and his morals and what he accepts is different across the board.
But he took
just because Duncan took it, that don't mean nothing to nobody else that didn't want to take it. That's just what Duncan wanted to.
But he took it when he saw that. Stephen A.
That's
said,
fine.
Not Stephen A. Stephen Jackson said, when I saw what Tim was going to saw what Tim doing, he said, well, maybe it's something. Maybe if I don't take the attack of Pop personal and look at it as just critiquing, then I don't take it as disrespect.
That's fine. That's their moral lines. Everybody's different.
But the moral lines is the question of what are you taking personal, is what are you taking that's actually just critiquing your talent or your ability or what you're performing as.
I mean, just taking in general, we watch shows, Fear Factor, all those type of crazy shows. All the stuff people will eat or do because it's a paycheck, it's money they can win. People will compromise their values for money all the time.
Well, you go in the military, they disrespect you all day.
That's what I'm saying.
You get paid little money.
People compromise their values for money all the time. So at the end of the day, people are saying, if you get paid, y'all paid this much, deal with it. Deal with it.
That depends on the person's moral standards.
And some people won't. Yeah. You won't. Money is not everything, so they don't care about it.
Well, if money is not everything, then you walk away from the money. Then you walk away from the money. If your moral compass is that high and you feel that way about the level of disrespect, then walk away from the money.
Hey, look.
But you're not going to do that.
Wait,
that's 20, that's 50, that's 120 mil you walking away from. You're not going to do that. Not too many people with that high level of integrity going to be like, you know what? My respect or me as a man is worth more than what you pay me. I'm walking out. Not everybody going to do that. So if you're not, as an athlete, not going to walk away from that, why am I having sympathetic for you for that?
I mean, what do you mean by walking away? Like, I mean, for them at the end of the day, you go into an agreement, negotiate, you're in it, right? Mm-hmm. For them, you can't just enter it and then say, all right, y'all disrespecting me, I want to leave. Like, it's rules against that. It's
rules on both
consequences
sides. It's
for
rules
that,
on
right?
Right, it's rules on both sides.
Right, so you enter, like, Harden felt like he was disrespected, right?
Right.
Because he had a personal relationship with Morey that spanned almost a decade.
Right.
So he felt like he was disrespected.
And Morey's like,
sometimes people got that.
And Morey said the same, and it's almost the same.
Harden didn't see that coming.
But I'm saying, but it's almost like the similar situation. Morey thought Harden was going to perform better than what he performed. He saw Harden didn't perform, and he said, yeah, I know we might have had this agreement on the side, but yo, your level of performance doesn't warrant me paying you in advance for this contract. I'm not doing it.
And he went back on his word. He shook from what is being said.
From what's being said, Morey went back on his word. Right, went back on his word.
So I mean,
but I'm saying, and I'm trying to speak in the aspect of Morey's probably thinking, well, you didn't perform the way I thought you was going to perform. Where you said you was going to perform. So yeah, I don't think you're worth this money now.
Right.
I don't think you're worth what I'm about to pay you.
I wonder how he broached that conversation, if a conversation was had. Or he just,
That's a different. Yeah, that's a whole.
Like, think about it. I remember I seen a Hornets game, right? And Mike was at the game. Malik Monk did a stupid play, and Mike smacked him in the back of the head.
Is that disrespect?
Depending on who you asking, don't touch me. Don't smack me in the back of my head.
Okay, hold up.
Did Monk see it as disrespect?
He looked at him crazy, like, what the heck? And then he saw it was Mike.
And he said change his mind, didn't he?
Yeah.
All right, then. So then it's not disrespect.
What Monk was on the Hornets?
Yeah, he was on the Hornets.
Yeah, he was on the
He
Hornets.
had probably more than likely had a relationship where he could do that.
That's
Right,
my
I'm
point.
saying. But some people don't play that.
People
No
from
matter-
that,
regardless
but
of
that's what I'm saying.
relationship.
But people from the outside can look at it and say, "Yo, that was me. He
A
would be able to
grown
do
man
that."
not gonna just always let you smack him in the back of the head.
But
They
if
don't
you cool,
have
but
that-
if that's somebody like you've been mentoring or you've been having a conversation, but you've been getting advice and stuff from,
Yeah.
and he's looking at you like, yo, you the little brother, like, yo, like what was you doing?
no,
you
for
know
sure.
he
The
was
bonehead
playing.
play. It was a
Right.
bonehead play.
Playing. You know, he playing.
Well,
with
some
him,
people,
but, you know.
well, even
Or
people,
he might have just realized, I can't do nothing.
Or-
This is my.
well, that's the other people. Yeah, he the owner. He the owner, but at the
Could have been
same,
that too.
it's like,
I
at
don't
the
know.
same time, but listen,
He looked like, never mind.
But see, this is
Walk
where
away.
I don't want to sound like that, but I'm gonna sound like that. If you're going to tell me what you're dealing with is disrespect, then you got to be willing to stand on that and say, you know what, I'm willing to take whatever sacrifice I have to take to let you know I'm being disrespected and I'm not taking this no more.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
almost everybody takes a level of disrespect at some point when you're trying to work your way up in a job, right? Like, they might ask you to do a task that you might feel like beneath you, right? But you have goals of working your way up. Somebody might be assistant. Sometimes assistants tasked to do some things they might not be happy with. Secretary might feel the same way, right?
It's just a matter of where
You go to college, somebody joining a fraternity. Some of the things they make them do to, become a, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's different. It's different levels of it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So somebody's, I don't think there should be a flat way on that. That's why I'm more of a, you can't look at somebody and say, all right, because you're making that amount, there's no empathy for you.
I just need to know what you're calling this. I just need to know what you're calling disrespect.
I'm telling
It should
you,
always be.
it don't matter. People don't care because how much they making. There is no line. People don't care because how much they making.
And that's where the lack of empathy.
Yeah, it's a lack of empathy.
People looking at it like you're still at the end of the day
You
still
ain't got to
able-
worry about money. You
right,
cool.
you're still able to go home and feed your
Yeah,
family while
exactly.
I'm still
Exactly what it is.
like
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean?
what it
Like I'm still struggling to make ends meet. So why am I concerned with what you're going through? I got a bigger issue down here I got to deal with.
And to their point, they don't have to. They don't have to worry about that. They don't have to care.
Yeah.
No.
They don't.
But they should still have some empathy.
Yeah,
It goes both ways. Both things can be true. Like you can still have empathy for that person as a human to say, well, look, I'm being disrespected, regardless of how much money they make. Respect is still respect,
Then walk away.
Does it go reverse?
and that's
What you mean?
and that would be their choice.
Nah.
I think we can go in a whole lot of ways.
yeah,
with
but
what
yeah,
you
but
just
then-
said.
yeah.
You might want to.
Yeah, I was about to end it right now. So I look
Right
at
on.
the phone.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
We already at 27s, but yeah, this is where we stand. Anybody got any closing argument? Everybody pretty much got what they said out of it.
Listen, your boy keep going. You gonna keep going.
No,
Close it out. Close it out.
Let me know what y'all think on the side of it. Either way you try to go. I mean, obviously, we all here 9 to 5, workers, right?
Right,
So,
right.
Obviously, we understand that point of it, but also I like to treat everybody on an even playing field.
There are
I don't go around disrespecting people.
Nobody
I don't
deserves to be
put themselves in my
disrespected.
shoes, and
Nobody deserves
I
to
don't
be
be like, oh,
disrespected.
if you were in my shoes, you would have did this, and I don't do all that. If I feel like it's disrespect on no matter how much you make, then I agree with you on that front. Now, that's just the way I see it.
Be peaceable to all.
Yeah, exactly. So this is Through the Scope. Check us out. Again, follow the socials. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe. We appreciate everything. We out.